anytime you have an application, or certainly almost anytime you have an application, you're storing data with that application. And that could be anything from kind of traditional relational data that most developers are familiar with, relational database data, but there's a lot of non-relational data as well. It could be in the form of videos or images or other files that maybe you're just serving up, or maybe you're processing. Maybe you have other unstructured data or semi-structured data, and you need a way of storing that. And traditionally, you've written, and developers have written the code to do that and to store it out on a file system or whatever. Well, now with Azure, we have a storage solution, and it's really a standalone storage solution. And it has its own complete API for all interactions with it. And what this does is a couple things. We have them listed here. Right? It's going to allow you to store data, and it's going to be both physically and logically really segmented from the rest of your logic, right? This is something that is in a good way, a black box storage solution. You're going to have an interface to it. You're going to have a programming API. You use that programming API to perform all CRUD operations, create, read, update, and delete of your data, but then it's there, and you don't have to worry about it, and you don't have to think about provisioning that storage and scaling that storage, because let's take a look at some of the ideas behind it, right? So what can you do? You can store records, files, requests. It's going to be managed. It's scalable. All right, it's going to give you definitely more flexibility. You don't have to worry about, okay, I'm running my application on virtual machines. I'm going to store data on those virtual machines. That's not the way you're looking at it. You're saying, I want to store data. Right? And that data is on its own. And very important, that data storage is massively scalable. Right? You are going to be able to store all the data you need in Azure storage, and it's going to be economical. Right? And that's one of the things that you don't necessarily always think about with cloud-based services is the massive storage and what that would cost to implement and to maintain in an on-premises environment. But that's being done for you, and it's being served up via an API. Right? And there are software development kits, SDKs wrapped around that make it very easy to integrate this into not only .NET, but other programming languages as well. So you don't have to worry about things like partitioning. You don't have to worry about sharding of the data, because that's going to be done for you. Now, there are some things you're going to want to architect, and we'll talk about that as we talk about the different types of storage that can help scale the data, but the basic scalability is already built into the storage operations itself.